So I got a comment the other day that went something like, should Olympus give up in life and just join the L-mount alliance so they can carry them home after work because they're exhausted from making sushi? Should they go full frame L-mount? Intriguing. Robin Wong suggested it first, and I will carry his thoughts to the promised land.
All I want is the perfect camera. All I want is the perfect camera.
We are, of course, on the only camera worth buying until 2027 when the monkey apocalypse hits us and intelligent monkeys make long-armed vlogging options. We're on the Sony X3000 with a Glimmer Glass 3. I'm in the shade. I hate my life. So, OM system full frame, L-mount. Unfortunately, L-mount is the worst mount of all the full frame brotherhoods. Man, if only they went like E-mount or RF mount or something. They can't, obviously, but it'd be kind of cool to see Olympus and Panasonic actually partner up. For the longest time, it's been, we're Micro Four Thirds together. Sorry, my lens doesn't sync stable with your IBIS. Sorry about that. So like Panny Boy and Olympus, I just crossed the street to get away from this asshole, and he's backing into my life. So while Olympus and Panasonic share a mount, that's like Canon and Samyang sharing. You can make lenses for us as long as they don't work or autofocus. So like, it'd be cool to see them actually together. Like, I would love to see a meeting between Olympus and Panasonic together at last. Oh, hey, Terry. Good to see you, man. Where have you been? We've been making cameras. We went full frame. Did you see it? L-mount with Leica and Sigma. You want in? Yeah, I saw that. L-mount. S5 Mark II? You can phase detect? You're doing phase detect. Wow. Yeah, we've been making stuff. A lot of stuff. It's mostly like sushi related. Did you know nori sheets are dried at 212 degrees? Keeps it from burning, but it's like a crisp it turns green. It's healthy. Do you ever eat sushi? Of course I do. I live in Japan. I have it for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Always. So you in on this? Full frame. Imagine an Olympus full frame. Yeah, I don't know about that. I've been hurt before from you. Remember that 100 to 400 lens I made for your mount? And you wouldn't let it sync stable? I thought we were friends. You left me at the side of the road, shaking. All I wanted was to be stable and held in your arms. You kicked me in the throat, spiritually. I'm sorry, Terry, we got scared. You were coming up, we were just starting to make money on the mirrorless, and then Olympus comes by and you had your vintage look, and we panicked. We had to cut you off somehow. You got phase detect in your EM1. It's like, what were we supposed to do? We had to split ways, man. I forgive you, Randolph. We were always friends and partners, and now I would like to continue that partnership into full frame. Let's beat Canon and Sony where it hurts them in the sack. Me and you, Olympus color science, Panasonic sync stabe, phase detect. Come on now. Okay, we're doing this. Just a side note. Our phase detect autofocus is still depth from defocus technology where the in-focus point is sometimes not in an animal detect type of fashion. It doesn't work in slow motion, but trust me, we'll work something out. We suck. Canon is better. So here's the problem with Olympus OM system going full frame. Just please change the name to OM. That's it. Just leave it there. Imagine that. We're singing like literal Buddhist meditation practices when saying your name. The frequency of just saying it could heal people. Like, oh, I have an Om too. It would work. So it removes the system. It's so basic and analytical. It's failing me. Just listening to it. People saying it hurts me. So here's the problem that could ensue. You're going full frame. You have to start from scratch with no lenses. It's already proven that this L-mount alliance is not a real thing. Sigma glass does not sink stave regardless of whether it says it on the screen or not. Some guy sent me, I think it was an S5, I want to say it was an S5 too, but S5 with the Sigma 150 to 600, it was shaky as hell. And it said dual sync. No, so it's not a partnership. The only real partners are Panasonic and Leica. Those two are best friends. And then the third guy joined, Sigma, was like, hey, but they talk about Sigma behind his back. This side of the street is sunnier. You know what I've noticed? Little side rant. This might look okay until the sun reaches the lens. Then bad things happen. Exposure terrible. It's like I'm always thinking that. That's why I'm pointed weirdly. It's like, okay, right there. I might have eliminated the lens flares. Eliminate your mom. So just pretending that there wasn't a whole bunch of terrible logistics from Olympus starting over again. They've already started over because they're Ohm now. So like they were bought by a sushi company. They're new. They had Olympus technology, but they don't know how to use it. It's like monkeys finding a UFO. They're like jumping on it and shit and scratching the surface. And even though the surface can't be scratched, it's designed by aliens, even though the earth is flat. It's not ever going to be the same as Olympus. But say Ohm wants to make a full frame camera. They have no lenses. The lenses that already exist from Panasonic, Sigma, and Leica, they're not great. Leica is too good and too expensive. Panasonic, very basic and limited selection, and Sigma is completely out of the discussion. They're not even, let's stop talking. So Olympus is going to come out with like a couple zoom lenses or something, like some lame stuff that's going to hurt. This is awkwardly, let's just do it. It's not going to be great for like 4 years. Like how long has Panasonic L mount been in existence? And we still don't really have anything special or 3D pop-ish. There's no Zeiss stuff. The Leica glass, but it's like 5,000 and up for basic models. It's not a great system to join. And Olympus is not exactly like a video beast. They don't really know what they're doing. They just had nice color science and good stay, but their autofocus went to hell in the OM1. So like there's no reason to believe that they would have a successful full frame edition. It's a crowded market. We're talking Nikon, Canon, Sony, Panasonic now. Even Blackmagic has a full frame L mount. So now you're going to have like 4 companies. Didn't DJI join that thing too? 5 companies in one alliance. Yet they're not working together. It's just like we're each doing our own thing. Screw you guys, even though we're friends and we're brothers. It's not right. Even though Sony Color Science would love to pretend that it knew what fall colors looked like, it doesn't. Sony will always have that weakness. So Olympus could come out with some nice colors, perfect stave, full frame. I don't think many people are buying Olympus for micro four thirds. Like Panasonic has phase detect now. So like, why would you? There's 0 advantages that I even see. Maybe the grip is slightly more comfortable and it's slightly lighter than the G9 II. But eventually Panty Boy is going to release a smaller micro four thirds body that debunks anything in the Olympus lineup. So it's like, I would love to see it myself with some nice primes, but Olympus was never known for 3D pop in their lenses. It's like, what are they even going to do? It's just like clinical sharpness, I think. I haven't tested a lot of Olympus lenses. I did like that 12mm Tony too. For vlogging, that was some stuff. You know what's funny on Instagram? You know that construction worker boss? He looks around, he's like, I just replicate it, but with no actual funny, dangerous situations. So it wasn't even, it was stupid, but I did it. Olympus is like the fat frog that wishes it was a cat, and it wants to be pet, and it can pretend to have hair on its back, but it's not soft. Nobody likes frogs. or Olympus. I would buy one if you did better, but you don't. So honestly, I just don't think it's a feasible option for them, starting brand new over again when, like, by the time they get their first camera out and lens, we're gonna have a DJI Pocket 4 that's full frame and it's a gimbal, it's debunking everything. Or the Sony X4000 will finally be released. Like, the camera industry is like slowly getting less and less. There's less pieces of pie going around at that dinner table, and there's not a lot of point. Like, smartphones are one day gonna be nice and natural, and little point and shoots, action cams are fun, but point and shoot segment's dead, and we're getting to, like, entry level is dying. And Canon is the dumbest at trying to fight smartphones. We're like, look at the V10. It's worse, but it's Canon. Like, they offer nothing at the lower mirrorless level where smartphone users might want to jump into. It's all just cripple hammered stuff. It's an Olympus video. All right, I don't have time for this stuff. You have nice things. I'm sure your little 200 to 800 is gonna tempt me in some way. I might buy that thing. If it's got some nice 3D pop, I'm buying it. Tony, 9 Tonys? Ow. There's one camera that I look back on in my videos and I'm like, damn, that looked good. And it was the Olympus EM1 Mark III, a Flat Earth Santa gift. The best colors, amazing stable, and it was so light. It was like Panasonic G85 level light. Fantastic. So, like, I wish them well in the future. It just doesn't, they're very slow. In a dying industry, they're the slowest turtle. So hopefully they pick it up a notch and start riding a rabbit to success, but it's not looking good. So I would love to see it. I should have watched Robin Wong's video to steal his points and make better arguments. I made nothing. Comedic value of no actual purpose. I'll leave. Are you subscribing though for more videos? And I'll see you next.